And by spacing, I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to share my screen again so you know how to do all this now. I'm just going to kind of give you like a visual representation of like what you're doing and what you should be doing, okay? Because I've been watching it now, and I think I kind of have a handle on you and what you're kind of doing. Personally, I think a lot of it has to do with camera control, in my opinion. I think Gangplank is not a champion that you can lock screen very, very well. I just don't see how you can ever do that, because you have to be he's essentially a Xerath or a Lux. He's a skill shot champion. You've got to be looking everywhere in order to play him. That's just how it is, and I think you're killing yourself right off the jump by your camera work. And I'm going to show you what I see. So let's go ahead and give ourselves some items, you know, similar to what we had. So we've got our build or whatever, right? Now, let's say that a wave is like barreling down mid, okay? Barrel, pun intended. The big thing here is for you, when a wave's coming down, I never see you spaced properly. And by that, I mean, if you need to clear this tower, this is how you are going to do it. So let's imagine that this is a minion wave or something, right? If you need to clear a minion wave, this is probably what you're going to do. Something like that, maybe. It's really ugly because you're at risk and there's nothing clean about it. Your barrel can be placed all the way the fuck back here. See that?
Yep.
So you're not really spacing in a way that's appropriate and that a poke champ should be doing. And it's part because you can't even see what you're about to barrel. So it's hard for you to pinpoint. And this is why I'm doing it with my visual aid here, because what's happening is, since you're on a lock screen, you only really recognize that, oh, my wave is here, right? Like you only see it when you get close. So my barrel then should be somewhere in here, probably, right? The thing is, you should have already determined back here, like, oh, my barrels need to be like right on this X.
Okay.
Right? And you're not getting to that point fast enough. And so your barrels are you're always putting your barrel down somewhere over here. Right? But in reality, if it's me, I'm just going like this. Like, hold on. I failed the one part combo. But like, it would literally just be like, walk up, do that, and back away. Notice how I'm never once beyond this line.
Right.
You are constantly like here.
Okay.
And it's killing you. Right? That's what's killing you. Another, like, in my opinion, like, that is like your biggest problem, is that you're never, and this is, by the way, this is incredibly similar to exactly what I teach Lux players and Xerath players and Vel'Koz players and basically any poke mage. This is what I teach them, is I'm like, you need to know what the fuck your max range is and play at it. When you're putting barrels down in mid to late game, you're constantly walking beyond this line. This is like, you shouldn't be going past this point because you can already place your barrel here. See how I click back as soon as I place the barrel? That's how you should be thinking, is like, oh, I'm only going to move up really delicately. I always use sandbags as like an analogy, right? Like you're poking your head out of a sandbag to shoot. Right? If you're in a trench, right? Like imagine you're in a war, you're in Ukraine right now, right? And you're in a fucking trench. You don't pop your head and just stick out there, right?
No, it's just real quick and
real quick. Pop out, I shoot, I duck the fuck back. You're never doing this motion. And this goes for any way that you're setting up a fight. So like, for example, if there's enemies over here chilling, right? Well, as soon as I play, I'm going to immediately position like this. I'm going to give myself the maximum range that I can be from them. And what I'm going to do is I'm immediately going to do something that's going to pressure them while not pressuring myself. So I'm going to look to part like that, right? Or alternatively, if you get really slick at it, you're backing up. So you put the barrel down and then you do one of these as you back up, right? Obviously, you don't want to suck, but you get the premise. But you want to always space yourself at the max range. Again, ping is a huge limiting factor for this, right?
Okay.
That's why I say it's going to be trial and effort for you to get to the point of where you understand the spacing. But usually it's like, oh shit, I got to back up. Okay, cool, not a problem. I don't know why the back step is like awkward as shit. There we go. But if you can do those types of movements, it really helps. The other thing is because you're always lock screen, you're not able to process what I just showed you, which is enemies are here. Right? Like
You're so far back, they're not even in reach.
right, or you just don't, or you get so close and they collapse in on you. Your ping's so fucking high, you've got to see it in advance.
Okay.
You have to see it. You have to see like, oh, they're there. Okay, cool. Like this is where I'm going to set up then. Or alternatively, if they're here, right, you think something creative like this. And then pull back.
Okay.
This vision stuff is also massive. Again, you had the right idea of, I'm trying to think.
We were back in base.
Yeah, let me just give myself a lot of health. There we go, whatever. So you're in base, right? And enemies are coming here or whatever. Right? So when you see the enemies coming in, like, yeah, you want to duck in here, but you got to move that camera up so that you can go just like this as soon as they get close and you can actually... The other problem that I have with your game is there's a huge fight here next to Dragon. And there's all this shit happening around you. Camera control was falling apart. And you're getting decision paralysis, right? You're Men in Black. You're like Will Smith, where he's like in the alien shooting range. You know what I'm talking about? You ever see Men in Black?
Yeah.
He's like in the alien shooting gallery. He doesn't shoot anything because he's just looking everything, right?
Right.
You need to pick a target. Right. You need to pick a target, a squishy target that you can actually kill with ease and surgically get rid of that target. So in the case of the dragon fight, I remember roughly what was happening. You had some tanks over here. You had maybe a dude over here with somebody that's hard to kill. And they're all running away. Draven's like here somewhere. Well, what I would do is I would see who Draven's chasing. So in this case, he's chasing your teammate. We'll say this way, right? And then what I do then is I just go, oh, okay, cool. And try to pick him.
Okay.
But again, this comes down to your camera work. Your camera work and spacing is what's going to kill you with this champion. You don't have the luxury of doing this and walking around. You cannot do that. That's what's going to fucking bone you on this guy. Because if you can't, it's literally impossible for you to... especially part to your ping as well, but it's it's just impossible for you to imagine where the barrel needs to go in advance. And that's, I guess, the best way I could frame it is because you need to see that your opponents are here going this way. So the barrel needs to be here and go to here, right? Like, you can't see that from this angle. Do you understand?
Yep.
It's impossible. There's no way. I have to see body. I have to see like what abilities they're using. What did this guy use? What did this guy use? Because, for example, say it's the Draven and he's chasing your teammate, right? Let's see. There's the Draven. He's chasing your teammate. Your teammate goes like this and flashes over the wall. Well, placing this barrel here doesn't do anything now.
Right.
Because he's going to flash here. So now you want to barrel here and get ready for this. You see what I mean?
Yep.
You can't see it, though, because you're like this walking over. How would we know what he's already done? And this isn't me being like over dramatic. I'm not trying to make you do things that are just like, you know, needlessly difficult. It's just you're playing a champion that is incredibly difficult, and this is a requirement. That's just what it is. It's how it is. This is also why when you were up top, I was like, hey, buddy, like, there's a wave coming in here, right? And you're not looking.
Right.
You have to look. Because I have to know. Because, yeah, there might be minions there. But, like, if I don't see, if I don't see them actually looking like they can siege, I'm not going to ult. Well, how do you know if they're going to siege? You have to look. You can't look at heads on the minimap. It's not enough info.
Okay.
You can look at heads on the minimap as a cue that you need to move your camera over, but that's about it. You're not allowed to just brain off it and not look and just hope. And this is you said the macro thing that, yes, this is part of it. But that, again, the main issue that I have is that when it comes time for you to land barrels, you're just not in position to do it often enough. Right. Okay. And so your DPS is just never going to be where it needs to be for what your champion can offer. This stuff is tertiary, but it's very important. And by that, I mean, you do need to know that, like, oh shit, I'm splitting. There's 5 enemies bottom. I need to know when I should ult to defend this tower. Because what you're doing by splitting is you're inhaling gold while defending this tower. That's the premise.
And possibly getting it some more gold with a kill with ult or.
Well, ideally, the whole concept here is that you should always be getting more gold than they're getting because you have your ult there and you just block it, right? Like when they go to siege, like here comes the cannon wave, like right, the enemy team's coming up. It's like here comes the cannon wave. It's coming. Ult, like right there. Right now, your team is able to survive. You push one more wave, you get in the base, you get in the bush and recall. Okay, cool. They survived that wave. Now come out of base and defend. Actually,
okay.
right? That's what this whole split push thing is about. So when you're not looking over there, I'm like, oh man, this guy's not seeing that he might just drop a tower. Like you can't be giving away towers because we're on side lanes. That's why GP is good, is because he's one of those champions that he can actually like help with that tower. When I play Tryndamere, I can't do anything when I'm over here, right?
Right.
Like, but you can, so you have to look. Got it?
Okay. Yep.
I'm trying to think if there's like any other big things that I care about right now. Those are like the main things that I saw. That I would be focused on. Oh, I was going to ask you. You can go ahead and queue up. Let's try to get one more game in.
Okay.
I'm feeling nice this morning, even though it's only 25 minutes left. Look it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm trying to think.
So, I guess you could see my screen right now.
I was going to ask you your mouse sensitivity and mouse settings. Do you have like Logitech mouse or something?
I have, yeah, Logitech.
Open the Logitech stuff. Oh, nice. I appreciate you supporting the Patreon, by the way.
Yeah. I was gonna ask just to make sure that I'm using this correctly.
Great.
So, like, I've watched all these videos, and so I'm guessing this is where everything gets uploaded.
Yeah, we're constantly uploading that every month.
Okay.
Or updating it every month, and I'm gonna keep growing it and because I basically want the Patreon to be like the League Bible, right? Like I want all these like concepts kind of explained so that because Riot's never gonna teach their game.
All right. I don't know how to open up my
Type
mouse.
Logitech into your bar, and there should be like a hub or something. Did you ever? It doesn't look like you installed drivers, huh? What kind of mouse is it? Like a gaming mouse?
Yeah, I just got 2 buttons on the side
So
of my mouse.
now what I would do, you don't have to do it right now because you're in a coaching, but what I would do is I would install. Wait, what's the Razer thing that you have on your desktop? That's not your mouse.
That's my headset.
Got it. So there's drivers that come with every mouse, okay? These things are essential for like basically tweaking your balance of your mouse. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, like for the past couple months, my mouse shit has been fucked up because I went to like a wireless mouse I was trying out, and I also went to like 1600 DPI or something. I'm at 1200 DPI right now, and I don't want to understate the importance of your champion and good like mouse movement, because it's like really, really important. Like I play on like, I play with like 1200 DPI and like a really like, I play it like with 1000, it's like 1000 the polling rate or whatever. So if I don't know, yeah, try to get your roll. Because if we don't get it, it might be better for me to run you through all this stuff at the end of the lesson. I know it doesn't sound like it's important, but it kind of is.
Okay.
But see if you can get it. You asked for mid too.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Let's go over this then. Go and
Okay.
just dodge the shit, whatever.
Let's
let's just fucking do this for the lesson and get you the right settings. And then that way, as you're getting better, you'll feel a lot more confident that your settings are right. Because right now you're still kind of noobish with like your mouse movement stuff, and this will really, really help you. So first thing, what you'll do is you're just gonna download. It's called Logitech. called like Logitech G. What the fuck is this? G Hub. And the other thing I would strongly recommend when you get time, you should try to get like Chrome browser or like Brave browser or one of those. It's a lot better. All right, cool. So yeah. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna basically give you like a huge rundown of just like hardware. And I don't do this often, but I've personally had like huge impacts with having bad hardware myself. And so I figured this is a good opportunity to go through this because I just tweaked a lot of my settings and it really helped on my Korea account. I just got the diamond on it. And a big part of that was getting rid of this wireless mouse and tweaking some of my settings. It helped with precision and stuff. Because a lot of like these guys that you play against are like really good mechanically. So I also just think that since you have high ping, you really want everything optimized out so that you can make less mechanical mistakes. Because it did seem like you were uncomfortable moving camera around and barreling and stuff. And I think your mouse is probably playing a big part of that.
Yeah, I've always played lock screen, so I'm just trying to play on unlocked screen.
Got
but I
it.
hold space a ton.
Got it.
Just from that one video I guess I just downloaded
Right.
it like a week ago. So trying to just do the small things right now.
At the top right, you see open file. Yeah, get that shit on. This is really, I'm surprised you didn't have this already.
I'm sure it told me to download it right when I got the mouse.
It's okay. A lot of people do this. Dude, there's a reason I'm going over this stuff because if you don't know it, it's hurting your gameplay a lot. You'd be amazed.
So I guess just because before I'd just click on the map and then look at the map.
Right.
Versus, and then like the F keys, like kind of learn.
I don't F key. I don't F key that much, actually.
Okay. Maybe
I click the map. No, you can. F keys are good. It's good to use them. I don't as often as I probably should. I just click the map. A lot of the time. Sometimes I F key though, but I definitely have a preference towards just clicking the map.
Okay, and then with this, just because with what you're talking about, should I take this off quick cast?
No, you can do both. Didn't you have the Patreon, right? Didn't I go over manual cast? Yeah, so you have both, right?
Yeah, so I think I just kept it on quick cast. I think when I watched that video, it's just like, oh, okay, like I just have it on quick cast. He's cool with that.
Oh, so you want to have the flexibility though. So you could do either or. So scroll down to abilities and summoner spells right there. It's right at the bottom. Right there, yeah. Right there. So normal cast, literally press like with spell 1, click on the right side and click like Shift Q. Yeah, Shift Q. Okay. Yep, and save it. And then go to the next one, Shift W, Shift E, Shift W, Shift E, Shift R. Yeah.
So then I can click Shift.
You can literally, so like, say for example, you want to see the range of your barrel without putting your fucking mouse down there, right? So you can just press Shift and like look and see it. And then that way you're not going to be just goofily fucking positioned in every situation, right? Nice. So go to the practice tool while we're waiting.
Okay. So
you can try this out. Remember, this game's all about racing. It's all about efficiency. So all this stuff that you're figuring out to cut corners on is very, very valuable. Okay? It's going to add up, I promise. So to start, what I would do is I would just try exploring that shift mechanic. So like your shift, whatever. Oh. There you go. So the idea is that now you can kind of see your range. So when I was telling you, like, you're standing so fucking close, ask yourself, like, do I have to be standing that close? See? Look at the difference. Yeah. Right? So obviously you don't want to rely on using the manual cast, but man, is it fucking nice when you need to do something precise. So let me give you an example. That wall that you were hiding behind, you can hide behind the base wall next to your tower here. Say you need to 3-barrel somebody. Yeah, you set up 1 barrel on your head. Oh, this thing's, yeah, it's all good. It's just installing. You can hide behind that base wall and you can use shift and actually like see out, right? So, and then, yeah, I would shift, yeah, right from here. So you just put 1 down. See, now you put 2 down So like say you need to 3-barrel somebody, you could set it up. So what I would do in that situation, what I would do is that's the spot where I would stand on the actual barrel, unless you were trying to one part, but I would just stand on the barrel and then you E out over the wall and then you could just, yes, just like that. And then you would triple barrel right off that. You see what I mean?
Okay.
Do you see the difference? Like you're getting way more range if you do it that way.
You can go.
And then Q and then triple barrel quick.
Whoops. Something just happened with my mouse.
It's probably being weird because of the driver or whatever. But do you understand what I'm trying to teach you? I'm trying to show you that it's like there's so much more range that you can use, but you're not using it because you're not comfortable with it yet. Usually you would have to step in front of the barrel more to get a triple barrel, but yes.
And then the other one you were showing was like, this is actually perfect.
So yeah, it'd be like forward and back. You would put the barrel like between where you think they're going to land, where the minions arrive.
I really messed up. Like, I don't know if it's
what?
Like just bad mouse control.
Probably part of it. You have to, it's like, yeah, it's like a juggling act. You're balancing the way that I teach people, click towards the Nexus, like towards home, forward and back. Like you just jam that motion is everything in this video game.
Right, and I've been practicing that one too. Like I really tried to do it in that last game against Orm, but it was kind of weird with the sidestepping with his little
right.
I don't know if that's like I don't know.
You can't one part with the manual though, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's impossible. Yeah, that's impossible. It's got to be quick cast. But I'm saying that you're just setting up a 3-barrel or something with the manual cast so that you can see like how far does my barrel need to go. Right. You'll figure it out. You'll figure out the uses, I promise. Once you start messing with it, you'll be like, "Oh, I get it." It'll start to click. Let's go to your mouse settings real quick.
Okay.
So just skip through this shit, whatever. And click the arrow on your right. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. They're like jerking themselves off. Yeah, cool. Don't do that. Just, yeah, decide later. No thanks. Okay, cool. There's your mouse. Sweet. Is this wireless or wired?
This is wired.
Good. That's a good choice. Click on the mouse.
Okay.
All right. So does that feel the same as what you had? Did this feel roughly the same?
This is the same, yeah.
Okay,
the
so
next setting at 3200 seems like a lot.
So I'm telling you, so right now, I think that part of your problem, see, without knowing your setup, do you have a big mouse pad or is it like a small mouse pad?
Well, we're actually at my brother and sisters-in-law. We just had a baby.
Oh, congrats to them.
So I just have a couple weeks off.
Got it.
So we're just in their basement right now. I'm playing on my bed with a book as a keyboard.
Okay, so that's pretty that's probably pretty whack overall. The thing is,
yeah, it's a little different.
So for reference, all right, how old are you?
I'm 28.
So for reference, I play on like 1200 DPI, which is really fast.
Okay.
But I don't think I wouldn't do that. I would just do like 800. Try 800.
Okay.
Now let's fix these stupid
really
deep. Slow. It feels wait, that feels slower than what you just had?
I'm pretty sure I was at 1600.
Oh. I thought you were at 400, but I guess not. Okay, no. So then maybe you should try like 1200 then, or like 800 or something. Now, the reason why is because you're talking about mouse precision or whatever. I was playing at 1600 for the past, like, I don't know, past 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. A lot of pros play on really, really high DPI.
Yep.
But like, I don't know, man. I'm not convinced that it's smart for the average player, to be honest. And I'm getting pretty average now because I'm getting older, right? I don't really think it's a smart move to go at like 1600. And with a champion like Gangplank, I don't think you have the luxury of imprecise movements. I'm not even sure that players have the luxury of imprecise movements in lane. I think that most laners are just bad. And so there's a lot of players that are getting away with bad mouse movement. When you face people here, you start to see really quickly that like, oh yeah, I need to be a little bit more accurate with my clicks. So if you're having issue even just controlling the fucking camera, that shit should
Yeah.
probably come down,
Okay.
right? Like if
Maybe
that's
maybe that
yeah.
was my problem, is it's too high, and because it just seemed like when I was playing, like this thing was just like it would end up like way over here, and I was like, oh shit.
Well, let's see.
I
It
need
could
to
also be sensitivity of the camera scroll itself. Do you think that the camera scroll should go down? Because that's
I
something that
remember
you can
you
mess with.
went over that. Was that on video
It should be in game.
game?
Yep. So that's
So I
keyboard.
adjusted
Keyboard is
these.
pointless. That you should never use keyboard anyway, so that's irrelevant. Try
Camera
taking
moves
it
me
down.
right.
Try taking it down a bit. I mean, it's all preferences, but like,
Right.
I'll move the camera around.
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
So if it's just like, it's the juggling act. If okay, so basically move your camera, like move your mouse to the top right of the screen, and then like tap spacebar. Like that's basically the movement that you're going to be doing a lot of. Is like when you move your camera somewhere, right? Or like to the top left, you just move your camera somewhere and you like tap spacebar. You want to be able to see real quick what's happening, right? And then get back to your spot. Or you click the mini map and press spacebar, right? Like that's basically camera control in a nutshell. So if, you know, if you ever find yourself like there, when you went to barrel, for example, that was like a perfect example. When you touched that top wall, you immediately should have panned your camera up like that. Right.
Okay.
That should be a constant thing. And then you just like tap spacebar in the downtime or whatever, but you should be comfortable moving forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. That's a big component of the game. Think of it as just like think of it a good metaphor would be like someone walking like a tightrope. Right? Someone on a tightrope is constantly calibrating like where their feet are, right? Where their arms are or whatever, like how they're positioned. That's this game. Your character is on a tightrope at all times. You want to be in control of your character to the point of where like any movement, you're constantly readjusting and recalibrating. That's the entire game. Like no bullshit. That's everything in this game. Especially like if I unfortunately my VODs got wiped because it's a new patch, but like if you watch me play against this fucking Yasuo guy yesterday, I'm like dodging a bunch of Qs and wiggling around. That's so much of what I'm explaining to you right now. Is that premise? Is that you just got to tightrope around. Now, some other little tips. The first thing I would do, you see that crazy DPI on the fucking thing there, that 3200? Click on that, but drag it off of that bar on the right side. Drag it off.
Like that?
Like drag it down, like you're deleting it.
Oh, okay.
8,000. Like, yeah, there you go. You drag it down below and it'll get rid of. And then that, no, below, like down low. There you go. Yes. Take that last one off because you don't want to be switching like DPIs like crazy anyways. These mice are always like janky. They give you like a billion settings. I don't know if you can, you might not be able to get rid of that one.
Maybe I'll put it to 1,000 or something.
Yes. So what I do is now switch it back to 1200 so you don't lose your DPI. Okay, you are on it. Yeah. So now on your left, there's that fucking keybind thing above you. Like on the left side. It's like on the left. Yes. Assignments. Click that. So do you see that DPI cycle button on the mouse itself? I actually just right click that, or I'm not sure if it's right click, but basically you want to disable that. Because if you accidentally hit that button in the middle of your game, you will fuck your game. you will switch your DPI and like in the middle of a fight, and you'll lose a fight and you'll lose the game off of it. If you ever want to go back, you can always change this stuff back. I don't know why they make it so that you could switch DPIs to like crazy DPIs. I've never in the history of gaming wanted to switch my sensitivity randomly. I don't understand those. But I guess like super casual gamers like having different DPIs for like different things or whatever. I just hate it. So yeah, that's why I tell you that. And then you can always, these buttons that you have here, obviously you have them bound to whatever you have them bound to, but you can even now add that last button onto something if you want later. The one that you just removed, you can change that DPI shift into something else.
Like in here?
No, I meant on the mouse setting. Like you can actually add a button now. So like you click on that and you can assign. So you use like, I think I use like end or something. So you see how it says select assignment? On the
Yeah.
left, you can now like scroll around and you can go up. It
Oh.
says like keys at the top there. Yeah, so now you can actually just like pick a random key that you want to. So like see all these random fucking things like brackets and
Oh.
shit. So now
So,
you
like,
can like
bigger.
set that. Now when you go into the game and you tap that binding, right? You can
Wait, how
set
do
that
I-
fucking.
How do I use it though?
You just go into a game now and press the button. You've got
What?
it.